Mac. Have you ever noticed how different emergency lights look at night? During the day, they're just lights on top of a vehicle. But at night, they feel like something more. That's because they are. Someone who's taking responsibility for whatever just happened. Someone who's stepping into the worst moment of someone else's night. Exactly. And tonight's story is about what those lights mean to the people who turn them on. A story from the road. About the vehicles that carry those lights and the people behind the wheel. Let's listen.
You don't notice emergency lights in the daytime. They look ordinary. Plastic on the roof, a switch on the dash, wiring tucked under trim panels. In sunlight, they're equipment. At night, they're something else. Flip the switch, and the world reorganizes. Red moves through tree lines. Blue washes over porch siding. White strobes snap against wet pavement. It doesn't just arrive, it draws a line. I learned that standing behind my Explorer, heater humming, radio crackling, rain ticking against the windshield. When the lights were on, posture changed. You stopped being yourself. You became responsibility. You were the first visible order in someone else's worst 5 minutes. For 11 years, that truck carried that weight. Snowstorms, road closures, headlights facing the wrong direction. Then salt did what salt does. The frame rotted. Metal gave up. You can replace a vehicle, transfer the light bar, rewire the strobes, install new switches. But the first time you flip them on in a different cabin, it feels foreign. The reflections hit at the wrong angles. The flash pattern feels slightly off. You don't trust it yet. Trust isn't built in the shop. It's built on scenes, call by call. That's when I realized something. It wasn't the Explorer. It was what it represented. And firefighters know that feeling better than anyone. Every house has a first due engine. Every company has a rig that feels permanent. You know the throttle without looking. You know which compartment sticks in winter. You know how the pump sounds under load. That engine isn't just steel. It's repetition under pressure. It's where you stood when smoke banked low, where you waited for plows at 3 a.m, where silence rode back with you after a hard call. The truck I got my EVOC certificate on was wrecked years later. It didn't end in a parade. It didn't sit polished behind the station. It ended up in a field in the Midwest. A man walking by saw the name still on it. He took a photo. He sent it back to us. There it was, front crushed, paint faded, emergency lights long dead, sitting in weeds. It looked wrong, not because it was damaged, because it was alone, out of context. That truck once blocked roads and held back chaos. Now it was just metal in grass. That's what change does. It moves forward. It leaves history behind in places you don't expect. The new rig sits in fresh snow outside the house now. Clean lines, modern cab, strong frame. Different mirrors. Different feel. I never formally drove it the way I drove the old one. Health changes things. But when the bay doors open and red and blue cut through falling snow, it's the same signal. And there's another side to this. When you're the one in the ditch, when your airbag is deployed, when your hands are shaking and you're not sure what just happened, Red and blue is the best thing you can see. It means someone else has control now. It means you're not alone on that road anymore. Red and blue is the best thing you can see. You're not alone. To traffic, emergency lights are interruption. To the person in need, they're relief. That's why we attach meaning to rigs. Not because of horsepower, not because of chrome. Because when those lights crest a hill in the dark, they change the outcome of someone's night. Machines change, frames rust, engines get replaced, but the role doesn't. And when the lights flip on in falling snow, whether it's an Explorer or Engine 39, they still say the same thing. We're here. We've got it from here. Still flashing. Still holding the line.
You don't really think about it when you see them on the road. But those lights carry a lot of history. A lot of long nights. They do. Every responder remembers the vehicles they worked out of, the trucks, the rigs, the patrol cars that were part of difficult calls. And even when those vehicles change, the responsibility does. The lights keep showing up when people need them, still flashing, still holding the line.